Well, what a couple of days this has been. This is absolutely manic. I'm going to put my feet up and I'm going to have a look at some prices. Hold on. Silage. Record prices. Whoa, we need to get our silage sold. Where's my phone? Right, Andy, we need a trailer. Hello everybody and welcome back to Saxlingham. So, we have just realised silage prices are through the roof and they're only coming down. What's taken us by surprise is it's not normally this time of year where they max out. So thankfully Andy they had this trailer in stock ready for us. So we're going to go get this on and then we're going to go and sell. I think we're going to sell all our silage bales. I think that makes the most amount of sense and get as much money in as possible into our bank account, because obviously we took a loan out in the previous episode and that is now down to, well, we're now down to £7,000, so we've got this on a hire purchase. So right, we will take this back to the yard, and what I am going to do is we're going to take it back to the yard with a tractor. We're then going to take the trailer off, and then with the load all we're going to put it onto there, I think, and then at least we can move it around, move the trailer and load at the same time. We're not having to keep going backwards and forwards. And then depending on how much money we get for the silage depends on what we're going to do, because I have seen something and I do have a slight plan. So we can just pull this up to here now, and if we take the trailer off, let's go and reverse this back into the shed. I didn't think about whether we needed the spreader, whether to sell it or not, because now it's not going to be used for a while. But then I changed my mind with that, because I thought, well, actually we'll still be using it for fertilising contracts, so I thought it's definitely worth keeping still. So right, let's get into here, and like I say, we'll put the trailer on, and we just need to be cautious of how much money we're spending and how much we're putting on to hire purchases, because I do want to put a little bit more onto these hire purchases. Then after that, I think everything's going to have to start to be leased. But right, let's get this something like... Okay, that's too much like... Whoa, miles off. You need a mirror on the back of this thing. Or can we not put it on? We have the wrong hitch on here. But okay, we're going to have to go back to our original plan. Well, the original thing is put our John Deere onto the front and then have to load up like this. I don't quite know which way we're going to load up either, because I know stacking them on top of each other is a lot easier than doing it like this. So if we go, it's a silage, let's unwrap. We're going to have to unwrap them all. We just got to hope we can get all these on. Because once, if we grow the farm and get to a fairly biggish sort of size, we'll be able just to get haulage companies to come pick everything all up for us. Or, better yet, we can own all the haulage, and then we can do it. We may even be able to do it for other people. Right, let's get into here, and we will go take this now back. We'll put the trailer back onto it and take it round to the silage bales. So let's leave that there, and let's have a look at what the best course of action is going to be for here. Because I think one way we may be able to do it is if we pull one off from the front and then drop it down next to it and then try and get two with one go. I was just going to say, this is where that bale's now just going to roll down this slight bit of a bank. So right, we've now got two. The annoying thing is, I deliberately asked Andy, I didn't want a back to the trailer because I thought I'd be stacking them. But now, with plans changing, we could have done with that back on. So let's put those two like that. we also, by the looks of it, need a much bigger trailer. But let's see, because it's whether we go, because this I reckon we'll get more on if we did it like this. So how we loaded them up from the field, but we're just going to have to put our tines in them sort of just one more time to move. Oh, helps if I do it properly, like so. And then we'll just see which looks best, because we can then always go we can then always go for a third, you know, we can get 3 of these high. So just roll it over like so. And then I may just push these 2 that are already on, just push these straight off if this works a bit better. I think it's going to take longer to load, but we're going to get more on, which means it will actually save us time in the long run, I think. Let's just push that bale off. Drop these down there. And can we get a third on top, or will that be too many? And then the next problem will be whether we can stack 2 next to each other. Right, now this is going to be the big one. Whether we can get this on top nicely. Ooh. Like so. Right, we're going to give this a go and see what happens.
Well, the pop stars are weeping, the rappers are crying, their platinum records gathering dust, slowly dying. 'Cause country's the flavor, the craze of the day. Even Bieber's wearing a 10-gallon hay. Oh, the rhinestone cowboys are riding the charts, cashing it big on breaking all the hearts. From hip-hop to heavy metal, they're all jumping the fence, singing about pickup trucks and a love that makes sense of pretense. Used to be fiddles, steel guitars twang. Now it's synthesizers playing a country-fied clang. Every song's got a beat that'll make your feet tap, while the lyrics are vapid. A commercialized clap. Oh, the rhinestone cowboys are riding the charts, cashing it big on breaking all the hearts. From hip-hop to heavy metal, they're all jumping the fence, singing about pickup trucks and a love that makes sense.
There is some serious weight on here. But anyways, I think we're at the right place. I would hope. Is it this on the right hand side there? Is that where we are to go sell? So we'll just back it in and just see what happens. Ooh, that bale almost came off. I don't know how that almost happened. Okay, so we're going to go right into here for these to sell. So we're on 35,000. We're now up to 70,365. So that would have been 60 odd thousand pounds we've just made there from the silage. So that is a very, very good ordeal. And I did decide to come a different way up. we could have gone straight up from our house and onto the main road, but I decided we'll just cut through the sort of the countryside a bit, where there's a field on the left, where I think it's withered, to be fair, but that looks very much like a field that I'd be interested in buying. I think if we just stop here, it was field 41 when we came up here, but that is a withered field now. But right, that has relieved a lot of stress knowing that we sold them, and I think this is going to be us saying goodbye to September. So we'll get this back to the yard. I should probably walk. We'll turn right down here where we came from. That field there on the right, that's what I would like to buy. Yeah, so we'll take this back to the yard, we'll park this up, and we'll probably walk down, because we'll have to get the telehandler and bring that back up as well. So, and then once we progress into another month, I will let you in on what I've seen and what I'm thinking. What's in there? That's a lovely little house to live in. We're also going to start running out of room over in this shed. We may have to start going into the other one, but I was hoping to leave that just for the combine. Right, we can get this in here, and it just means machines. So what I may have to start doing is the likes of the load haul and telehandler and the tractor, they may just have to start going into the other side. So this can be more implements in here, and then other side can be more to do with our actual machinery. So that sticks out quite a long way. So let's drop that off. I also we could take the front weight off now. I don't think we need that on, well, certainly not in the from as far as I can see. Let's turn this off. We'll close the doors, and let's make our way back down to the house. And good morning and welcome to October. So we need to go get our telehandler first, and we can bring that back to the yard. I don't like leaving machinery just left strewn around sort of all over the place, because you never know who's about. Well, that is quite amazing. I think we have bought sort of ourselves the perfect location. Private drive, the sun rising up over there, and look at all the sort of the god rays coming through. I better concentrate where I'm going. That is very, very picturesque. But right, we will get this, park this up in the shed, and we will have a look at what contracts. Ooh, this is dark. This is very dark. Very dark and very spooky. Yeah, I'd much rather be in the light. Right, we'll get this in and we will see what contracts there are available. And depending on what contracts there are, depends on whether we're going to implement our new plan. So let's turn that off and have a look. So we've got a variety. This fertilising contract, that will be a very, very good one. That's, bringing plenty of money for us. And we also have a selection of mowing jobs, stone picking and grass tedding. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing them. So I think, what's that, 6 acres? I think field 27, we're going to accept that contract. We are going to... Oh, there's a harvesting contract coming. What field's that one for? Field 48. Okay, so it's not too big a field, but 9 acres. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that, put it that way. Right, and we'll go field 16. We may do that one. But what I will do is we're going to go now have a look at a new tractor. So this is what I want to go for. This is the exact setup And if I go for this, it's giving us 273 horsepower. We can bring that up to just over 300 in the future, but it also means it gives us so that we can start getting workers to help us. So we are going to go hire purchase. We're going to go 2 years. Let's just get this 20%, 2 years, like so. We're going to go option 1, so that we're paying for 2 years. We're paying £6,800 a month. But like I say, if we get a worker going every month, he should be paying for this for us. So let's go purchase. Right, this is very exciting now. We just need to find a way to get down to it at £23,000. So, we're going to put the mower on to the John Deere, and then what we'll do is we will go get the New Holland. We can bring that down to here, and the New Holland can do the fertiliser spreading. Just trying to think, or should we? Oh, I don't know. I can't. Trying to figure out how to get everything here, there, and everywhere is sort of a hard work. And we need to have a word with Andy in the dealership to get an advert out that now we have a second tractor, that we need someone obviously to fill it, to make sure that it's making us money, because now we potentially have a lot of debt coming our way all the time. This place is just amazing. I think I said it before, but I'll definitely say it again, just how these fields just sort of appear out of just absolutely nowhere. But right, let's unfold. We'll unfold our front mower. We need to get steering assist on. So we want to be onto that. Turn both on, drop them down, and let's get this grass cut. I do feel a bit bad that it's a Claas dealership and we seem to be buying everything but Claas machinery. But right, let's just put this all away, and then we're going to have to, we should really look at whether we have a push bike or anything like that. I know we could buy a motorbike, but I was always told growing up, motorbikes are coffins on wheels. So that's why I'm avoiding getting one just at this moment in time. But if they've got a push iron or a push bike, then I would be definitely keen to have a look at something like that. Right, let's drop the front mower off, and we will just run, like I say, we're just running out of places to put things. So we'll just drive this back here. We'll turn it off and hop out and make our way to the dealership. So this could take a bit of time. Those boy racers, they almost hit me once or twice going down that road. I'm glad to be off it, that is for certain. And here she is. our New Holland. So we got the I don't like the number plate bin on the front. We'll have to change that. So we've got the T7275HD. So let's jump in and have a look inside our cab. So we'll turn her on. And that is, we've got a little footrest there. Passenger seat. That's mint. I do really like it in here, and it's very, very responsive. But right, I think let's get this back to the farm, and we're going to put this straight onto the fertiliser spreader. We're going to bring the fertiliser spreader straight back here to load up with some fertiliser, which we will have to go and get some ordered. And I would imagine it's, I think they're offering £16,000 for that contract. So my thought is, we'll pull out in front of this car, that 4 bags should be more than enough for what we need. It is an absolute beast, this thing. Oh, I do like it. And it's just what we needed, because we needed something that you can do your sort of 30 mile an hour on the road, you know, but use it for both road work. So it's like those bales, they were too heavy, quite literally too heavy for our John Deere where we were struggling. So at least now with this, we shouldn't struggle, or we will struggle a lot less than before. So let's just empty this lime out of here, and we will now head on our way back to the store to fill up with some fertiliser. I really hope we don't need any more fert, because the amount that we've gone through of late with our fields and now obviously doing this contract, it's getting rather expensive having to pay for all this. But obviously we are making money out of it, well, especially this contract. Right, we'll let these 4 empty and see where we are. And like I say, just fingers crossed that is more than enough for us. So let's bring this back down, and we can put this over here like so. And now let's jump in here and get back, get over to this field. So let's just get this unfolded, and this is going to be a fairly big job, I think. Here, let's get our GPS. Those are going to give us GPS. This isn't good. We just bought a new tractor. GPS doesn't work. Right, there we go. Can't blame the tractor. That was all me. So let's set that, and we can turn this on, get onto here, and there's not much more to say than we are away. So, just thinking, would it be very rude of us to drive through that yard to get ourselves back? Because it'd be lovely to see this yard, because it's a huge yard, and I think all these fields here are part of it. So it's whether we dare to be so rude to do so or not. But we're almost finished doing this. We're on 99%, and we just need on this little bit here. It shouldn't take too long at all, so let's just turn the spreader on, and we're now complete with 1,450 litres left. So we used there 2,550 litres, so, and that will all come very much in handy for us later on. Oh, let's just do it. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can see anything. So there's their storage sheds. The silo must be near here somewhere. Bale shed up there. With these fans on here, this must be some sort of store. I would imagine that's their grain store. Definitely. I tell you what, they keep all their equipment well out of way. You can see on the ground where they've been going in and out. But right, we better just keep pulling on, because I think the owner lives on the right, down here somewhere. And I'd rather they didn't think that we were just being nosy. That's where they live. Well, there's a nice little garage there. Right, we'll cross over this bridge and continue up to our yard. So it'd be nice in time, because we are in this clump of trees, it'd be nice to join it all together. So it'd be, we may even look to see who owns these two buildings. Whether they're owned by the same person or separate, we don't, well, I don't know yet, but obviously we're still very much new to the area. And if we drive into here and go left, this should bring us back onto the road. That leads us to our bit of the yard that we've got. And it's nice to see that it's no light in here. And then right here, and our humble, very humble abode. Well, not very humble anymore. Now we've got this New Holland, this behemoth. It's a right thing, is this. But right, whilst we're here, let's get these invoices sent off. So, David, we will collect that, please, and we will collect that one from you. And that has now bolstered the bank balance up rather nicely, and we need to get this fertiliser spreader in there now. We've also got some fertiliser in the corner here from when we were drilling all our land. So let's move that to there, and we can turn that off. And then just with the, have we got any lime in here? No. Where are we going to put this lime? This is going to be the next big question. It's that, or we go put it over where the combine is. But ideally we could really do with some more shed room. But we'll just sort this out, try to keep the whole place neat and tidy, and then we need to get an advert done and written up. I think the dealership will probably be the best place for it, because that's where a lot of people will be going in and out of. But just, it's one of them. Being new to the area, you don't really know where to turn to and who to go. But we may have to ask David and Walter if we can find where they are. But right, let's drop that off. And where can we squeeze this into now? Let's just put this. We can leave that just here, Yeah, we do need to, when we have the finances available, we're going to have a proper look. Let's just close these doors. We're going to have a proper look at what to do with the rest of this yard. Because we have all this room to build on if need be. And like I say, that side of the shed is getting very congested. But if we run over to this side, it's a fairly big shed. It takes a while to get over here with all this room. But we do have the combine, which being on a dolly, it makes sense to give it the biggest amount of room. But we could always put that elsewhere. But right, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one, when we hopefully have a new worker. Bye for now.